Hi students, in the last class we discussed in detail about hydrosphere. We have discussed about waves, ocean currents, tides, etc. You know that Earth has got four important domains. Which are the four important domains? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So lithosphere we learned about all the rocks, mountains, continent, everything we have discussed in detail about lithosphere, earthquake, volcanic eruption. All in the beginning chapters are all dealing with lithosphere. Now in geography next we are dealing with the hydrosphere. Presently we are discussing the chapters hydrosphere. What comes? Mainly all the water bodies. So we have been learning about the importance of oceans, then movements of oceans, etc. So again we can have a small summary of what we have learned in the chapter hydrosphere. Children, see that the earth consists 71% of the earth consists of water bodies. That means 2/3 of the part of the earth is surrounding water bodies. Okay, so then what about land mass? 29% of the earth is only surrounding land mass. So land mass, you know that there are 7 continents, and regarding water bodies when we discuss, there are 5 important oceans. So 71% comes into the water bodies. So water bodies, so our main topic is that to discuss about water body. Why? Hydrosphere means all about water bodies. So out of water bodies, there are 97% of the water is found in the ocean, that is in the salt water. You know, ocean water is salt water. So 97% of the total water body of the earth is salt water, that consisting in the ocean. So only 2% of the water of the earth is found in the form of ice. That means ice means, you see, the earth has got North Pole and also South Pole. In North Pole and South Pole, it is found, the water is found in the form of ice. So both the North Pole and South Pole, you see, only 2% of the total water is found in the form of ice in North Pole and South Pole. Rest, you see, fresh water is found only 1%. Only 1% of the percentage in the earth you can find the fresh water. That is why, you know, children, you have to save the water. Otherwise you will find shortage in fresh water. Okay, so the next under the hydrosphere we discussed that all 5 ocean, what are the importance of oceans. We discussed very clearly about the climatic conditions. Oceans, they regulate the climatic condition of the coastal region, especially you see in case of India, isn't it? This is the peninsular region of India. Here you see Arabian Sea is there, and here it is there, Indian Ocean is there. And here which water body, you all know that? Bay of Bengal. So all the 3 sides are surrounded by water body. So the South India, this is the South India, peninsular India is South India. So South India, you see, there is a moderate climatic condition is there. Even winter season people never wear any woolen clothes. Like, why this moderate climatic condition? Because you see all the 3 sides are surrounded by water bodies. That is why. So the climatic condition, the oceans, they regulate the climatic condition of the coastal region. Then ocean current. You know that we have learned about which are the 2 type of ocean current: cold ocean current and warm ocean current. What is cold ocean current and warm ocean current? Like, you see, suppose the earth equator is there, there is ocean current moving from the equator to the pole. So this ocean current is called warm ocean. Since equator is hot, the current which origin from the equator to the pole, warm ocean current. The ocean current which flow from the polar region to the equator is called cold ocean current. So there are ocean current moving from the North Pole and North Pole to equator, and also South Pole to the equator. That ocean current, since they are flowing from the cold region, that means from both the polar region, that ocean current is called cold ocean current. Now, there are ocean currents which flow from the equator region to North Pole and also equatorial region to South Pole. That since the ocean current is flowing from the equatorial region to cold region, so that is equatorial region means hot region. So, that ocean current is warm ocean current. So, understood what is ocean current. Now, this ocean current plays an important role. Suppose the cold ocean current reach to the very hot region, that cold ocean current can make the hot region warm, and if the ocean current warm ocean current passes through the very cold region, freezing, suppose water is freezing, like, then what happened, that warm current ocean current can cause that cold region warm. Even the freezing of ice also cannot take place due to the effect of the warm ocean current. So this is how the ocean current affect the places. Now seafood also we discussed, means what ocean is rich in different type of seafood like fishes, shells, etc, etc. So it's also a rich source of seafood. Then minerals and fuels are also available from the ocean, like petroleum, Mumbai High, we are extracting petroleum. Other than that, number of other minerals, precious stones, corals, all these things are obtained from the ocean. Now the oceans are providing as important means of transport, like from the ancient period onwards, people are traveling from the sea voyages are held from the ancient period onwards. That is why people from different parts of the world, they reached in all the, suppose the Europeans, they reached in India, they made India as a colony of Britain, like. So all these events took place due to the transporting facility that has made the changes in the history of the world. So from the ancient period on, sea voyages were held. Then water transport is considered as the cheapest means of transport. Okay, then these are all the importance of ocean. Now we also discussed about the movements of the ocean water. The ocean water has got horizontal movement and vertical movement. The ocean currents and waves are called horizontal movement and tides are called vertical movement. Now let's see what is this ocean movements, like waves, currents and tides are the movements of the ocean water. You know that what is wave, you see this kind of rhythmic movement that carry out by the ocean water. You see waves, this is the waves. There is a difference in tide, you see this is the waves of the ocean water. Now but what is about tide? People should not get confused with the tide and the waves. Okay, now tide, if you go through tide, you can see that. I'll show you one video of tide here, somewhere else. Yes, here you see, if you observe this you see here, you see in this video, you can see the level of the ocean water goes down. It is a fall of the ocean water. When the fall of the ocean water, we can say low tide. The level of the, after sometimes you see the level of the ocean water goes high. So this is called high tide. So you understood. The tide means what? Rise and fall of the ocean water is called tide. Now you see low tide, fall of the ocean water. Now after some time you see the level of the ocean water goes up. That means the rise, the level of the ocean water rises, and so that this is called what is that tide. Understood? So it's clear that what is tide. Children, now let's discuss how the tides are formed. Tides are formed mainly due to the rise and fall of the ocean water. Okay. So what is the factor responsible for this rise and fall of the ocean water? Mainly gravitational force of the sun and the moon. You know that, children, all the heavenly bodies, they attract things towards them. That means they have got the gravitational force. So it is this gravitational force, mainly you see the sun and the moon, their gravitational force, they exert their gravitational force on the earth, so that ocean water is attracted towards the moon. That is the main reason for the course of tide. You see this, always you see smaller heavenly bodies are attracted by the larger heavenly bodies. That is the reason why the moon is revolving around the earth. You see, sun is such a huge heavenly body, so that all the solar system is revolving around the sun. Understood? So here the theory is that all the heavenly bodies, always the small bodies are revolving around the larger bodies. You see, sun being a larger body, the earth is being a larger body attracting the moon, so that moon is revolving around the earth. Understood? So that you see this here, gravitational force. If you jump from the ground, you fall on the ground only. If you drop something from the top of a building, it will fall directly on the building. And water is, so that means all the objects are attracted by the gravitational force. Similar way, you see, water is very easily attracted by the gravitational force. Understood? Liquid is very easily immovable. So that here we can say that the moon, the part of the earth which faces the moon, in that particular part the ocean water is bulging towards the moon. Why? The reason is that moon is attracting the ocean water. Understood? That is the reason that so that water shows a tendency to be pulled towards moon. That is the reason here ocean water in this part is bulging. At the same time, opposite side of the ocean water is also getting bulged. You see how it is bulged? Here the reason is centrifugal force. So you see, the part of the earth which faces the moon, there the ocean water is bulged due to the gravitational force. At the same time, just opposite of the part of the earth which faces the moon, their experience, there also bulging of the ocean water, but there the reason is completely different. That is due to the centrifugal force. Now, what is centrifugal force, children? You see, in this you see the man is pulling the earth. Here you see earth. You see this pulling. That means what? Outward force. Centrifugal force, we can say that always it is a kind of outward force. You see, for example, a dancing girl, when she is taking a round, her dress make a round all around, isn't it? Make a large flare like. Why? Because her dress, as she rotates, her dress shows the tendency. Her such kind of dress if she is wearing, then what happens? Such kind of skirt or frock or something, then it will take a such kind of flare, means it will, because of the outward force of that, it is spreading. Her dress is spread all around, isn't it? So this kind of outward, suppose when there is a gravitational force means it attracts towards the center. So centrifugal force is just opposite of gravitational force. So gravity means everything, it attracts towards the center. So centrifugal force means it is a force which is working just opposite of the gravitational force. That means the object will show the tendency to move outwards. That means that is a kind of outward force. So due to the outward force, what happened? That earth is slightly shifted from its place, leaving the ocean water. That is the reason that the ocean water is bulging here due to the centrifugal force. Is that clear for you? So you understood that the bulging of the ocean water, there we can say high tide. Both the side there is high tide. If the moon, the part of the earth which faces the moon, there high tide due to the bulging of the ocean water. At the same time, opposite side there experience centrifugal force, so that there is also bulging of the ocean water. So both the side there experience high tide. Bulging of the ocean water means rising of the level of the ocean water, so that there experience high tide. And then the place which are coming between the high tide, there experience low tide. Understood? So why there experience low tide? Because the water from this region is drawn towards the region where the moon is facing, where there is gravitational force and centrifugal force. That is why here these two places they are experiencing low tide. So you understood the phenomenon of the why they experience the tide. You understood the reason. Now we discuss what is spring tide and neap tide. In order to discuss spring tide and neap tide, we should know the different phases of the moon. You see children, you see the moon, you know that moon revolves around the which heavenly body? Moon always revolves around the earth, isn't it? Suppose this is earth and moon being a small heavenly body, it is revolving around the earth. Okay, the earth is rotating from west to east. Similar way, moon is also rotating from west to east. So moon completes one round within 28 days. Okay, one round within 28 days. So within this 28 days, there is one Amavasya and there is one Purnima. You all know that most of the rituals are held on Purnima or Amavasya and all. So that if you look at the calendar, you can understand that which day is Amavasya and which day is Purnima. So always this Amavasya and Purnima take place at the gap of 14 days. Okay, at the gap of 14 days. So that means every month there occur full moon and new moon. Now what is this full moon? Full moon means the day in which sun, earth and moon comes to the straight line. Okay, straight line how? The day in which earth comes into the middle of sun and the moon, we can call it as full moon day. Why? Why we call it as full moon day? Because on this particular day, we can see the full size of moon. You can see the moon as a whole. You can see the complete size of the moon. Yes, full moon. Understood? So this is called full moon. The moon is visible. Why moon is visible here? Can you say? The reason is that here you see there is a direct rays of the sun falls on the moon here. So the one part of the this part is lit. Okay, because of the rays of the sun, and this part of the moon is lighted, so that from the earth we can see this part. Why? Because the moon is here, so it is directly facing the earth, isn't it? So that we are able to see the lit part of the moon. So that means we are able to see the full moon due to this particular phenomenon. Okay, but on new moon day what happens? Let's see the position of the moon. Moon is in the middle. Moon comes in the middle of the sun and the earth. So that what happened? Here the direct rays of the sun falls, so that the half portion of the moon is lighted. So lit part is now not facing the sun, but only the dark part of the moon is now facing the lit part of the earth is moon is facing the sun but not the earth, but only the dark part of the moon is only facing towards the earth, so we are not able to see the moon. Okay, so on new moon day we cannot see the moon. Moon is not there. Okay, moon is completely invisible on new moon day. Okay, how it is invisible? Yes, completely dark. Moon is invisible. So this day is considered as Amavasya or new moon day. Why moon is not visible? Understood the fact that means only the dark part of the moon is facing the earth. For that reason, what happens? We are not able to see the moon in the sky. So that reason we call it as new moon day. So when is the full moon day and new moon day is experienced? When the sun, earth and moon, these three heavenly bodies, they come to the straight line. They experience full moon day and new moon day. On full moon day, the earth comes in the middle of sun and the moon, so that what happen? We can see the full moon. That means on the full moon day we can see the full size of the moon, and new moon day we can only see the dark part of the, that means the earth shadow is falling on the moon, so that on new moon day we cannot see the moon. We cannot see any part of the moon. That means moon is completely invisible. So you understood what is full moon and new moon. Full moon occur when the earth comes in the middle of sun and moon and makes a straight line. Then new moon occur when the moon comes in the middle of sun and earth, making a straight line. Clear? Okay, next we see the position first quarter and third quarter. So when the moon is in this position, we cannot say that these are not in the straight line. So it makes a right angle. It makes a right angle. The sun and the moon makes a right angle. So when the sun and moon make the right angle, means what happens? The gravitational force, it works. The gravitational force of the sun works on the opposite direction of the gravitational force of the moon. So that what happened? Now the gravitational pull of the moon is also minimized. How the gravitational pull of the moon is minimized? Due to that, why? Because sun's gravity is working just opposite direction of the moon. So the gravitational pull of the moon is minimized. Okay. So on this, position of the moon has got a very importance of tidal range. Tidal range means, you see, we have to discuss now about spring tide and neap tide. Okay, so in order to know the spring tide and neap tide, you should know this position of the moon very well. So once again we will discuss this. You see here, suppose this is the earth and sun is here and moon. When the moon is here, it is in the first quarter. Now when it comes here, there it makes, what is that? It causes the full moon day, isn't it? It causes full moon day. When it comes to this position, we can say moon is in the third quarter, and so that in both the case it makes a right angle. And again, when the moon comes here, that means it enters here. Okay, moon enter here in the middle of sun and the earth. Okay, so in this case what happened? Amavasya, that is new moon day. I hope this point is very clear to you all.